we were talking about business last time and how my company in particular, I had to really be faced with the decision on whether to keep going or to just close up shop because of everything that happened with COVID. And so I wanted to share about how I shifted direction with the company to keep going and not give up. So that's what we're going to be chit-chatting about today, and something that's obviously very relevant to today. You might be interested in. Okay. Anyway, if you like these type of videos, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe and join in on the conversation. We would love to have you a part of our sister and brotherhood.
And husbandhood.
Mm-hmm. So go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe, okay? All right, let's go ahead and jump into this video so I can stop rambling and get to the point. All right. You're supposed to jump in and be like, oh, honey, you don't ramble. He's like, lies. All lies. Okay, so here's the thing. Like, I told y'all, Hot Pink Labs was my my new business adventure that I had started. And I had to put that on pause, on hold. I put too much effort and energy to just be like, okay, I'm not going to do it anymore. I was like, screw that. We're just going to put it on pause. And I did shift my direction with that. And I went online and I recorded everything. And like I told you before, I spent countless hours, like over hundreds of hours, putting the video and stuff together. And the editing and actually inputting the curriculum into the course,
the Prezi, the whole thing,
everything. So I put that on the back burner for now because I thought it was very insensitive to market that during COVID when people didn't even know if they were going to have their rent or mortgage paid or electricity or food to eat. And I just thought it was very insensitive to be talking about, oh, buy this course so you can learn how to be an entrepreneur. Yeah. Right. And as far as House of Hot, the store, that one really was like a punch in the gut because, after the move and the transition, I was finally getting the momentum back with that and just, switch platforms and so many different changes. And then business just kind of stopped. I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And so I really was faced with the decision, do I shut it down? I've been doing this for 6 years, or do I figure out something else? And I decided to let the fight in me to keep going and shift direction for a little bit, So I had to ask myself, what was a problem that I could offer a solution to? And any time that you put yourself in that situation, you can typically always come out ahead. And for me, fashion related stuff, what could I do? Well, masks were a big issue. And so I decided
It's still a big issue.
And it will be for quite some time. And so I decided to get into providing masks, and not just any mask, but like fashionable masks. There was obviously a shortage with PPE. So I didn't really want to get into the respirator type mask, even though some of my manufacturers had access to them.
Right.
I still didn't want to bother with those. And so I initially started out with the manufacturers that offered masks, like the fabric mask.
The ones from LA.
Yeah, the ones from LA. And mind you, these were all my manufacturers that were here in the U.S. I honestly did not want to deal with companies that were on the outside of the U.S. in terms of dealing with masks in general. I just needed to get them from in the U.S. for a number of reasons that you can probably imagine.
Time was one of them, though, right?
Time was one thing. The shipping was really bad. There were so many delays. Even now, I actually am still waiting on product to come that I ordered before COVID hit, mind you. We're talking about months later. So imagine me trying to order masks from overseas. And so
there's immediate need because we need these masks to go to the supermarket. We need these masks to go to
do everything.
Anything.
Yeah, and like now in California, they're mandatory to go anywhere. And I think they should be.
Here in Dallas, they are. They're mandatory to go to businesses.
Right. Not all over the Metroplex, which is really weird. I think everybody should kind of just get on one page, but that's a whole nother story. And so Chris kind of pushed me to really just kind of just think outside the box. And So I haven't sewn, y'all, in like 20 years. Okay. My parents had a sewing machine that came from my dad's store. That's another story I'll tell you about in a second because it's really near and dear to my heart. But what?
It's older than you.
It's older than me. Okay.
Well, then why did you do that?
Okay, so here's the thing. The things about the masks, like the masks that I actually got my hands on, and they were from manufacturers that I know and trusted, and I liked them, but there was still like something missing.
Right.
You know, even my favorite mask, there was still something missing about them. And I'm like, how could I improve upon this and really do the patterns that I want, the shape, the style that I want,
material.
The material. And the only way I could do that obviously was to make them myself. And so that's how I got into it. And then I started looking for patterns. And
that was the genesis of why you wanted to do it, right? Is because you just wanted them for you to make.
I wanted them to be right.
Feel good, be right.
Something that
look good.
Yeah.
Go out in public with them.
Yeah, and to make a statement, but also be on the, the side of reason. Because I think wearing masks, I just need to say this, the fabric mask, like we know it's not really protecting us from the virus, although it does help cut down. It's really to show respect to other people, just in case you might be walking around asymptomatic, carrying something, whether it be COVID or the flu or anything. It will help cut down the exposure to other people.
You won't share your crud with them.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many other people that are vulnerable, just health-wise. My parents being two of those people. And so that's what the masks are for. And I found some patterns, hated them. Absolutely hated them.
Why did you hate them?
Because
just wrong fitting,
they were the wrong fit. So most of the patterns that you can find online, they were the kind that you can put the PPE mask up so it's behind it.
Oh, big square looking thing.
The rectangle looking things, and you can kind of like accordion them. Those are fine.
Right. Those are good masks.
They're good. No, they're good masks. Don't get me wrong. But I wanted something that was more of a fashion statement that fit the contours of my face.
Sure.
And, went with different outfits and stuff like that.
Show off cheekbones, those kinds of things.
Yes.
Okay.
See?
I learned quickly.
My husband. So that was the thing.
Okay.
And I decided to deconstruct one of the masks that I actually liked from one of my manufacturers. Just to see how they made them. And I did that. And I wanted to improve upon some things. And so I readjusted the pattern and kept adjusting, and then I came up with my own pattern. And the majority of the masks that you see on houseofhot.com are that pattern that I chose. And you can kind of tell the difference. The fabric, even from my manufacturers, it's good fabric. Like I wouldn't have ordered them if they weren't. I do like the fabric. But me personally, I wanted to be able to choose the patterns of said fabric. And we do use modal.
What is modal?
That's so modal is basically a fabric that is like antibacterial. It wicks away moisture and it won't grow mold, which is very important, especially when you have something up against your face constantly and you might not wash it every single day per se. I mean, you literally can, but be honest. Most people are going to take the mask off, leave it in the dashboard.
I leave mine on the dashboard because ultraviolet
rays
help disinfect it.
They actually do. So
in the heat, I close my car. It might be 100 degrees in the car.
Or it's going to be hotter than that.
Right.
So that's the other thing too. When you take your mask off, put it in your dashboard. Like if you're in the car, put it in your dashboard because 3 or 4 minutes in the sun, it will definitely kill whatever virus might be on the front. And that's just for a health safety issue. You should always do that.
But also wash them in the washing machine.
You definitely should wash them. But in between washes, put them on the dashboard and let the sun take care of the sterilization. And so the other thing, I started to wanting to make these masks, but have y'all tried to find any type of craft supplies during quarantine?
There's a shortage of sewing machines.
Not just toilet paper.
You might not know that, but up there with respirators.
Yeah, like seriously. Like all the Martha Stewarts and Betty Crockers done come out the woods.
Right.
Everybody bought up all the sewing machines. You couldn't even find them on Amazon.
Right.
Like I went to so many stores, went to so many different websites trying to find a sewing machine. Could not find one to save my life. Finally, I found a serger on Amazon, got it delivered, and then realized, okay, I still need a sewing machine in addition to the serger. So couldn't find one.
What do you always do when you can't find something? You call
my
mom.
So my parents had a sewing machine that was older than me.
Older than you.
Over 40 years old, okay?
Still worked.
Pristine. I mean, it's a collector's item. It is in pristine condition. Why?
Vintage.
It is. My mother never used it. Never used it. And this was an expensive sewing machine. And my dad said he used it like a couple times to hem some pants. Let me tell you how they got the sewing machine. This is a near and dear story to my heart.
Okay.
Because my dad, this is one thing that I've always been so proud of him about. And this is where I get my little entrepreneurial spirit. My dad owned a store back in the like 70s. Was it? Yeah, 70s.
70s.
And he had a big old airflow. This is so cool for me because he was a black man in Dallas that owned an electronics store. That was like huge for me.
That's pretty cool.
And for something, for me to hang on to. And he had a bunch of like high-end stereo equipment and sewing machines. That was a very popular thing to be sold in electronic stores back then. And he had all these sewing machines in there. My mom was like, well, everybody's getting these fancy sewing machines. I want one too. So of course he gets her the top of the line, like the best one you can get, which was the Viking Selectronic Viking, whatever. And he brought it home and she never used it. Not one time. I told him, I said, I think she probably used it, 5, 6, maybe 10 times. I finally asked her, but she's like, I never used it. Never used it.
Too complicated.
Yeah. I used to use it back when I was 18 because shout out to my girl, Joe Ashley. We used to make our own clothes. Like we were very unique and we had like feathers and stuff we would incorporate into our
very
clothes,
fashion forward.
Our head wraps. And
wow.
Yeah. So I used it back then and then I took it back to them and put it back up.
Put it back to work. Now
I went and got it and they officially gave it to me, which made me cry because it's the one thing in the world
that you wanted.
I was never the person to be like, oh, my parents passed, I want to have that little heirloom. I didn't realize that sewing machine meant so much to me. For one, it was a representation of my dad being an entrepreneur against all odds. And he ended up having to close his business because the 80s hit and the interest rates of the 80s.
Late 70s, yeah.
Late 70s. And you needed basically credit to buy stuff out of his store because it was expensive. And he had to close his doors. So I'm very thankful that I got that sewing machine because it's so funny that my mom never used it, but she wanted it so bad.
So you decided to put it back to work.
I put it back to work and I started making masks. And the masks that you see, the majority of them on the website are handmade masks. And here's some of them. Like this is one of my favorites. This one I actually designed to go with a few of the pieces that I have on the website.
And like a headscarf. You have a headscarf.
I do. I started making headscarf too. But
out of the same material, right?
This material.
Okay. Very cute.
So this is what most of the masks fit like. Has little ear loops. It has a nice contour to the face.
Yeah, it closes all the way around the face, it looks like.
So you don't have to have that metal bar on top because I cut them to fit the nose area. So it's very snug up here. And it also wraps underneath the bottom of your chin. And on the inside, well, my makeup's on the inside of this one now. But this is a green modal fabric on the inside. And then this is a jersey knit material on the outside. But if you wanted to flip it around, obviously wash it before you decide to make it reversible. And you can wear it on the solid side. Do you have
another one in there that's reversible?
Here's another one. So this is new. These will be on the site shortly if they're not already. This is another little design, and this is also modal fabric.
Oh, so it is reversible. That
on the inside, yeah, you can wear it both ways, or you can wear it like this. It just depends on what you have on and what you want to rock. Just make sure when you flip the mask inside out that you've washed it. And you can hand wash these also, but I just take them and toss them in the machine with
But when you're taking them off, remember to take them off by the ear loops. Don't grab the front.
Don't grab the front. So when you take your mask off, since this one already has makeup on it, take them off here.
And throw them in the washing machine.
And toss them in the wash or put them on your dashboard like that. Never touch the front because that's where the germs are that you're trying to keep off of you.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are others that's not necessarily reversible. This is more of a fashion mask.
That one's fancy.
But it also has modal on the inside, so it's very comfortable on the face.
Let's see that one. Ooh, that one's kind of fancy.
Mm-hmm. Very cute.
So what would you wear that with?
Oh, you can wear it with a bunch of stuff, like all black. You can wear it with white. You can wear black and white. You can wear it with gray. You can dress it up. So like,
seriously, you're going to have to teach me about this. Like, we're going to make fashion statements out of these masks, right?
Yeah, well, some of them, like the ones...
Like, seriously, though.
No, but the ones I have coming for winter...
Yeah.
Those are definitely fashion statement masks. They're going to serve multiple purposes. They're going to keep, you from spreading and cut down on you receiving. But they're also a bit warmer because of the material that I'm using. So, keep your face warm. And then also they're a huge fashion statement because they are...
Okay, help me with this. Help a guy with this. Are you trying to make the mask pop? Are you trying to make the outfit pop? You're trying to make the mask match the outfit? How do I, as a guy, design around, pick my outfit out around the mask?
Well,
help me out.
Okay, so the mask is an accessory. It's a necessity that is an accessory.
Okay.
So it's dual serving, dual purposes.
Can I ask you a crazy question? So if I have like a tie on to work, I could mask my match with my tie?
Absolutely, you can.
Or my pocket?
Or your pocket square? Yeah.
Okay, I got it. Okay.
Yeah, we're going there. I can't wait for this collection to drop. I have, I think, one of the fall and winter collection masks on there just to see if y'all wanted it. And I did nearly sell out of those. But... here's another dressier one. Like, this is not reversible. Mm-hmm. This is one that you could, if you were going to church.
Going to church.
I sent my mother-in-law this one. She loves it.
So if you just want to rock something a little fancier.
It's a little fancier. It's a different material. Mm-hmm. So the inside is modal. Mm-hmm. But the material on the outside is more of a, it's not tweed. I forget the actual name of this material. But it's nice.
Got a little sparkle to it. Okay.
Got a little shine. Yeah, it's woven. So. And
then some of the winter ones, you said you're going to do these out of leather. How is the leather ones? How are they going to breathe?
So they're actually not. They're faux leather.
Oh, faux leather.
And the type of material that I've found, because I've already sourced the material, it's definitely breathable. It's got, I won't say holes, but there are several layers on the inside of this particular mask. So you have, it's breathable, but it's also going to serve multiple purposes. Okay. Yeah. And those you don't, you can machine wash them, but don't dry them in the dryer. Mm. Just like this one. And the instructions are on the website for each type of mask. Like this one, you can actually drop it in your dry cleaner bag, honestly, if you want to, but you can just simply hand wash this and hang it up to dry. Okay. Yeah.
And you did make them for big people like me.
I have some of the masks are
for
men. Yeah, especially
mine?
Put yours on.
So this is my mask that she made for me.
This is a custom mask for him. So I have these masks plain for men, but he's showing you his little Black Lives Matter that he wanted on the side of his mask.
Mm-hmm. I had to have that on my mask.
He had to have it on there, but then I also have the basic Black Lives Matter mask for men and women. So
and I rock both of them.
He rocks both of them.
When I go to the store, I rock both of them.
He loves to rock his Black Lives Matter mask. Mm-hmm. Like this is a men's size black mask, and it has Black Lives Matter on it. Mm-hmm. Very cute. And these also come in women's sizes. So, yeah. And the women's size, generally like a teenager, junior high school kids can also wear the women's size mask. So
our 12-year-old wears, or 13-year-old. Whoa. 13-year-old.
The 13-year-old can wear my size mask. So
and our big boy wears big boy masks.
Yeah, and he's 17. So yeah, that's it.
And we wear them everywhere we go out. We're kind of
everywhere
mask fanatics.
It's really because our parents are both susceptible. Mm-hmm. to everything right now, especially the virus. And we just wanted to make sure that we were doing our part, because not just for them, but other people that are vulnerable like them.
Or just all the asymptomatic people. Like if I'm asymptomatic, I don't want to give it to the people we saw today at the store.
Exactly.
The people that were working in the store that.
Exactly. So
we're trying to protect them too.
Right.
Or anybody that would come around.
Exactly.
So
yeah, that's it. If you want to check out the mask, the link will be in the description below.
But you're always going to be updating them.
But I'm always going to be updating them. I have tons of fabric that I keep.
Oh, does she have tons of fabric?
Finding.
Joann's has had way too many sales. I called Joann's up and I said, stop your sales.
Conveniently right now. It's just like, yeah. So, and look, if you can make your own mask, by all means, go for it. But our masks range anywhere from, I think, $9 is a Dorcas House mask. Like I said, all the proceeds go to Dorcas House on that. Mm-hmm. But they go from $9 to $18. $18, those are the higher end masks, like with the heavier textures, and the material is a lot more expensive than the other ones. So they're a little bit more pricey. But that's mostly the fall and winter mask.
So you're just going to keep reinventing and remaking stuff.
I am. And like I said, if you guys can make them on your own, that's fine too. Go for it. I'm not saying go just buy my masks and make them. But I will save you the pain of having to go track down a sewing machine, which you're going to spend $200 or $300
Well, send us pictures if you make them. We'd love to see their designs.
Yeah, send some pictures. I'll share them, like whatever.
Love to see some bling that they put on them.
And then little Farrah is selling kids masks, because I have some kids masks, but not a lot. They're more of like a mommy and me type situation. But one of my dear friends, Dr. Portia, her daughter is selling these little furry kid masks. They're so cute. If you're on our Facebook page on House of Hot, you'll be able to see her little masks. They are absolutely adorable. They look like little stuffed animals on your face.
Wow. Very cute.
They're very cute. So, yeah. That's it.
That's it.
We just want to talk to y'all about that. Hope y'all are doing good. I'll make sure you guys get a little peek at this little outfit. This little top is giving me life. But the pants, hunty, wait till you see these pants. So be sure to catch the What I Wore video. Okay. All right. We'll talk to you guys later. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. We would love for you to be a part of our sister and brotherhood
and husbandhood.
Join in on the conversation. Have a great rest of your week, guys. Bye.
I'm a dork.